Today is Thursday, December the 11th. I hope you're having a great time enjoying Christmas at Connect.
I don't have a shirt on today.
I
failed. I
Here's
failed
the
so
deal.
much.
I was prepared. I've pretty much the last week and a half,
All you wear.
I've only worn Christmas sweaters.
Only. All the
Every
time.
single day.
Yep.
And this coming weekend, I'm preaching, and I'm going to up the ante a little bit. Not just Christmas sweaters, and so you'll have to come to see what I'm going to wear.
I can't even wait.
It's going to be amazing. You don't even know yet.
I don't know what he means right there.
It's gonna be phenomenal. You're not gonna want to miss it. But we want to talk about this last week. We kicked off clarifying Christmas, and I want you to just, before we dive into the question, why don't you explain why are we talking about that as a church?
Well, just Christmas is a crazy time. I can't tell you right now. I can't even begin to guess how many people I've had chats with or conversations with that have said Christmas is a lot. Or last, even tonight, we're recording this after midweek here, the night before this airs, and even tonight I was asking like, how's the week going? How you doing? And I'm so ready for a break. I'm so ready for the weekend. I'm so ready for this whole thing because it's a lot between work or school, shopping, decorating. Decorating's stressful. And I don't know about you, but sometimes in my house, my wife and I, we want to start off decorating in a happy way. We end up not in a happy way because we disagree, and it's stressful, right? These things happen. Every family, every marriage, it's a lot. And we get into it, and if we're not careful, we begin to grumble. Man, I can't stand this season. Man, I'm so stinking tired of that elf on the shelf. Man, I just can't, this thing, that. And this Christmas, what my hope is that we can clarify it for ourselves and remind ourselves that just because our world goes mad with the merriness of Christmas, and we can stay in the peace and the joy of what Jesus did. Right, that's what it's all about. We talked in Revelation 12 this last weekend. There's the woman giving birth. There's a dragon ready to devour the child, and there's a war in heaven. And the angels kicked out the dragon named the devil, Satan. He kicked him out, and he was to the earth enraged, ready to do war against those that follow the King. And the heavens declared, if I can paraphrase, victory is here. Yeah. And I want to clarify for us that every single thing we do in this season, it is either in devotion to the idols of what our world says Christmas ought to be, or it's in worship and devotion to what God says it is. We want to clarify that, and that's what we're trying to do this whole series.
And so I want to step in and say that if you're watching this, you're like, then why does this church wear Christmas sweaters? Why do we set things up?
Well, here's the thing. I'm wearing an Under Armour shirt right now. I don't worship Under Armour. It's the shirt that I wear because I like this color, right? I'm wearing a certain brand of shoes right now because they're comfortable for me. We like Christmas sweaters because they're silly, they're colorful, they're bright, they make us giggle and laugh. That's what it is for us. Yeah. It's just the funness of a season of doing things. Around the beginning of February or so, you'll see people everywhere wearing sports jerseys, NFL jerseys, and hopefully Chiefs red, although it's not looking very good this year. All these things. And that's not necessarily because it's a fun thing that we do collectively, right? That's why we do the sweaters.
Because cultures do that, right? As cultures, we rally behind things that bring us joy. Not necessarily that we worship them, but I wear this just because I think it's fun and silly, and it's dang cold outside, and this warm sweater is awesome.
And don't let me overstate. Maybe I went too far with it a minute ago. My house, we have a Christmas tree up. Yeah. We do that. But in my house, we have nativities up too. And when someone comes over, we point out Jesus in the season, not the tree, right? We have the priority of the season, but we still have fun with it. It's still a fun thing.
And so I think the difference is, and then we'll answer the question, I think the difference is celebrating it. So if you're struggling with it, if it's stressful for you and stuff, why is it stressful for you? Like around my house, sometimes like my wife and I butt heads a little bit on how do we set up the tree and stuff, but really our family has fun. Like we love setting up the tree together. We love putting up the lights together. We love sitting and turning off all the other lights and watching the sparkly lights. Like there's just something magical and joyful about it for our family. And if it's not joyful, you shouldn't be doing it.
Yes, that's right.
And so around here, we have fun with it because we celebrate the joy of the Lord together. Yeah. So the question I have, based on your sermon from this last weekend in Revelation chapter 12, we're talking about this war. We're talking about how Christmas, there was a war waged. And so how have you seen the enemy, that'd be Satan, how have you seen the enemy at work in your family, or maybe in your faith, or even in your mind? And I'm going to clarify a little bit and ask a little further. Like, I would say not just in general, because I think sometimes we ask general questions, and so you're like, oh, I can't think of it. I want to like, I don't know about you guys watching this, but I know for me, watching my family and watching you all around the church, you hit about Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and it seems like everyone goes into chaos mode. And we allow the enemy to be at work in our family. We allow the enemy to be at work in our faith. We allow the enemy to be at work in our mind. So I want to say the last couple of weeks, I'm going to narrow it down. How have you seen the enemy at work?
Well, for one thing, it gets dark at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I hate it.
That's not it.
I love it so much.
I miss the sun. But no, the enemy's always he's pecking away at the little cracks, right? Because he knows you, he knows me, you, he knows us better than we think he does, and he knows where the little cracks are, the little crevices are, and he challenges those little things, right? This particular season, I know everything that we do in life, we develop. We develop like our body remembers things, our mind remembers things, even though we aren't thinking about it, right? And so for my family, just to pull the curtain back just a little bit, my family, we took care of a lot of kids for a long time, right? This is can be super transparent. Hope it's okay. We took care of a lot of kids for a long time, and we just dove headfirst right into the trauma of kids who'd been through abuse, neglect, and all kinds of things. And we lived in this world of caring for children for 12 years, 15 years, for a long time. And for part of it, I didn't do it very well because I isolated ourselves. Like, it was just us against the world doing this. As it went on, later on, I was better at inviting people into their story and into things, right? But here's what I noticed. And my wife, actually, we talked about this just 2 weeks ago, right after Thanksgiving. We're talking about this very thing, that sometimes I think we react to things in ways we shouldn't, not because of what's happening in front of us, but because of some deep memory of something in the past, a smell, or for us getting Christmas things out, and remembering how every time we did that, our kids would go crazy in our house. And so for a lot of years, Christmas was really stressful in my home, right? And so we do this. And so what happens is Grace and we had to sit down and I believe kind of combat the enemy on this, because I think he was trying to suck the joy out of some things we were doing together in this holiday season, Thanksgiving, giving thanks, and Christmas time coming up, and because we were falling into patterns without realizing it was subconscious for us. And I think the enemy was kind of trying to drive a wedge between she and I, and to push us apart instead of pull us together. And I'm going to be honest and confess, it took us about a day or two to figure that out. And we had a rough weekend in there and had to figure things out and do that. But the enemy's attacking. He does that. And sometimes we let him win. And we look back and we're like, I should have turned to Jesus then. Other times we do it quicker, turn to Jesus, and we don't let him win. So that's for me. I think that's a recent thing for me.
For me, it's actually like clockwork for me. And this is something that you and I have talked about a lot because you're in on this. And I'll pull the curtain back for me a little bit. It's the battle of my mind. As soon as we time change in November and it starts getting darker and colder, I love the Christmas lights because it brings me joy, but I suffer with depression. And I have also, and so I combat it all the time, all year round. When it's sunnier and warmer, it's easier for me to combat it. When it's darker and drearier, it's harder for me. And so my anxiety levels go up. And then also this time of year, I tend to get sick. Like, I am someone who goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. And I don't usually take hardly any sick days during the year. And then we get to about December and January, and I get sick.
He's like a sick month.
Yeah.
Not really. It does work. He works a lot, but
it does. It feels like all of a sudden to be like, this week I was sick a couple days, and then I was good for a couple weeks, and I was sick a couple days. And
it's like clockwork every year.
It is every single year. It's like my body wages war against me. And then when I'm sick, then because I am very production oriented, getting stuff done oriented is how God wired me. I feel like I am not doing the job I've been called to do. And so then that plays back into my depression. So then I feel like, man, everyone hates me. The church is going to get mad at me because I didn't show up to this. This is not for you to come and say, Keenan, we love you. This is not, I'm just me being vulnerable. Saying in this time of year,
nobody speak to Keenan.
No, but like in this time of year, I know that like clockwork because of it. Adam and James around here, especially because you guys worked with me for 13 years, they know this hits. And so I get extra phone calls, I get extra texts, and I get extra patience from them because there are days where I'm really on the ball. And there are some days where like I just can't get my mind to think straight. But it's a battle that Satan knows it's coming. And every time around this time of year, it really eats at me, which is also why I really love this time of year. Not for the battle, but the things that we add to remind me of joy. Like, so these things bring out more joy in my life because I need it at this time of year. The Christmas lights, when it's darker, it's nice to have things brighter. Like, it's just all these things playing into it. So we all have things that the enemy is at work. He's trying to whittle away at you, hammer into things to break you apart, to get you to disengage with the mission that God has given you. But we have to remember, you talked about this weekend, that the enemy has lost. The victory's already come. And so we're not in the full victory yet. We're not home in heaven yet. But Jesus has already won the victory, the death, the burial, the resurrection. He's already won the battle. The war has already been determined. Jesus wins. We're just fighting in the last of it until he comes and gets us again. And so choose to remember that your God is victorious in this time of year. And no matter what the enemy throws at you, you can overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony, the word of what God has done through your life. I'd love to hear from you. What are some things that you saw this last week? Maybe there's another discussion question we didn't get to that you'd love to wrestle with. Put those in the comments. We'd love to talk about it. But always, church, until we see each other again, you are sent. Have a great day.